Welcome to the Shield Football Podcast. I'm your host, Fredo. With me today, we got the boy Jay. We got the boy DC in the building. No Josh today. Work caught up with him today, but we got Steven in the back over there running things like always. But what's up, guys? Week 13 under the books. We only got one more game tonight with the Bengals and Jags today. Jags are favored to win that one by 10.5 points. So basically, they're saying the Jags should win this game right here, man. But hopefully, there's an upset, at least for my end, from the AFC South. But other than that, gentlemen, Week 13, DC, what do you think, man?
Man, some very interesting games, man, and also a lot injuries again, man.
Yeah.
Another week full of key players getting injured. But overall, it was a pretty decent week of football, man.
Absolutely. Jay, how about you, man? What's your overall thoughts on Week 13, man?
For me, it was really good. It was really great. Ups and downs, really good. NFC game, really good. I like the Thursday game. Refs are costing teams chances, but overall, football is still king.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I agree with that, man. Refs have some questionable calls, especially the past 3 weeks. It's been very questionable calls, man. But other than that, gentlemen, let's jump in and let's talk about Jerron's Cowboys versus the Seahawks. Let me load this up real quick. Final score was 35-41, a high-scoring game, which we were not expecting, but finally some good football on Thursday night, man. Final score, 35-41, Cowboys take care of business at home, still undefeated at home, gentlemen. That's some great stats right there. Let's go to some game leaders, and let's go start off with the Seahawks side of the ball. Smith, he threw for 41, completed 23, 334 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Top rusher from the Seahawks, Jambarte, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Charbonnet, 19 carries for 60 yards and 1 touchdown. Top receiver was Metcalf with 6 catches, 134 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Have a day, my boy, man. Now to the Cowboys side of the ball. Prescott, he threw for 41, completed 29, 299 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Man, have a day, man. Your top rusher was Pollard with 20 carries for 68 yards and 1 touchdown. Top receiver from the Cowboys was Lamb with 12 catches, 116 yards, and 1 touchdown. Man, have a day, man. That being said, let's go to some team stats. Total yardage for the Seahawks, 406, while the Cowboys had 411. Turnovers, 1 for the Seahawks and 0 for the Cowboys. Time possession, 23 minutes for the Seahawks and 36 minutes for the Cowboys, man. So that being said, this puts the Cowboys at 9-3, second in their division, still holding down that spot. And this puts the Seattle Seahawks at 6-6, third in that division, holding down that spot. DC, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
Jerron, what do you think?
Oh, Jerron, my bad, bro.
Oh, no, it's all good.
Yeah.
I'm a little torn. It's really good to have a physical game like this to prepare you. It felt like a playoff game the way they came out. But the Seahawks are a really good test for the Cowboys because they came out physical. They came out hitting a lot of trash talking. We haven't seen that in a while. I don't even think with Philly, of course you see that, but this is a good test. And it started out where I thought the physicality was going to doom them. Like Dan Quinn had a rough first half, leaving Deron Bland on an island against DK Metcalf ain't the smartest thing. But eventually they got it together to where they started getting fourth down stops and making Geno get rid of the ball so quickly. But it's always interesting to watch how teams approach the Cowboys defense. Their time to throw is so short that it's tough for people to do it. Like Michael was balling. He was killing blockers, but Gino gets the ball out so quick. But yeah, I always love to see like the game in between the game. They get the ball out quicker against the Cowboys than they did the 49ers. They held the ball against the 49ers, but couple game balls go out to Dak. Dak is playing his butt off. He's the reason that they even had a chance. Micah was a baller. He didn't get many stats, but he just wreaked havoc. And then Jake Ferguson, man. A lot of people thought when we lost Dalton Schultz that it was going to be a void in the tight end room. This dude right here is the real deal. He's not Kelsey, but his wiggle, his toughness, his the way he gets up the field, he's a problem. He's going to be a problem. And I like how he led the Cowboys in chirping. Like Jamal Adams tried to get in his face. Brooks tried to get in his face. And he was just he's got a screw loose. So it was a good victory, entertaining game for the most part. But it was important to get a win like that at home.
Absolutely. DC?
Yeah, like you were saying, when you mentioned Dak and Micah, they both made plays when they needed to make plays.
Mm-hmm.
That last play of the game with Micah, when he was in Geno's face and he didn't have no time to do anything, that was a big play. I know it's fourth down, and that killed the whole thing. That sealed the game.
Right.
And then next to the last drive, when Dak went down there, and I think he threw the touchdown to Ferguson, that's what you want to see when you come from behind like that. The game's on the line. The guy to push your team over the top. And of course, man, we got to start talking about CeeDee Lamb when we talk about these other receivers.
Yep.
You know, he's getting skipped over for some reason. I don't know why, what it is, but legit, man. He is one of those dudes, man. You've been seeing it for like 6 weeks straight, probably something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Keep putting up numbers week in and week out.
Yeah.
So we definitely got to start talking about him. And on the other hand, you know, like you say, Dallas made some adjustments because I don't know why DK was just getting open like that.
Yeah.
It started out early, man. I was like, my God, what are they going to do to slow this guy down? But they end up figuring it out, man. They pulled out the victory. Like they needed that challenge.
Yeah.
They needed that to push some buttons and make them do some different things in those type of situations. And they went out there and they answered the bell, man. There was no punts in this game.
Yeah.
Not a punt.
Fifth game ever with no punt.
No punts, man. I ain't never seen that before. But there was one thing I noticed, Jordan. How did you feel about McCarthy's game management? Because there was one time he threw the ball to CD. I know CD was cooking, but it was an incomplete pass. But if he'd have read it, the clock would have continued to run.
Yeah.
It was later in the game. I said, come on, we're just running the ball. They're going to be out of timeouts.
Yeah.
But he ended up throwing incomplete, and that stopped the clock. You see the other thing for his game management, that game that you didn't like?
So game management-wise, I like how aggressive he was on fourth downs. There's a 4th and 2 that CD dropped. And then like the one you're talking about, the 4th and 3rd and 3. I like the aggressiveness. I didn't like the call.
Right.
Like that's not, you don't throw a fade on 3rd. You come up with a better play. I like what he's doing. Like his aggressiveness changed after that 49ers game. Once they got bludgeoned, you could see that he was like, oh no, like we got to be aggressive. And I liked actually going for it. It's just the play call.
Yeah.
And if he does it again, the way that their offense is clicking, I don't see why not. It behooves you to be aggressive. You left some time on the clock, but that could have been the game right there. So I liked it. I don't really have a problem with the aggressiveness as long as you are aggressive. I'm fine with it.
Absolutely, man. Speaking about CeeDee Lamb, man, here's some stats for y'all. He was targeted 17 times, man. For that, and he was only receiver from the Cowboys side that it was that Dak was throwing to more than 10 times. And the second person close to that was Jake Ferguson, the tight end, 8 times. So we know that CeeDee Lamb needs to be in that top conversation now as a top receiver in the NFL, especially ever since maybe since week 6, it's been blowing out, man. But before then, man, like CeeDee Lamb and the Cowboys, it's like that part of the game was not even close to how it is now. But now you got to put him up there now that he's a legitimate top 5 wide receiver right now. Moving forward,
my thing is, why is it so hard? Just target your best player. Put them in positions to where they can get the ball. What they're doing with CD is they're moving them around. Yeah. He'll be in a slot. He'll be outside on the boundary. Then they'll move him over to a jet sweep. Then that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
It's been years since I've seen the Cowboys do that, and a lot of other teams aren't doing that either.
Yeah.
You can see how Rodgers used to do that with Devontae Adams. Well, why is that so? Give up 15 targets. Look how they do Keenan Allen, or not this game, but look how they do Keenan Allen with the Chargers. Yeah. Like, get your best players to get them the ball any way you can.
Yeah, absolutely. And but it's a good thing now the Cowboys are figuring this out. Now, now it could have been worse. They could have just not figured it out like 2 weeks ago, but they figured it out. What was it, 4 or 5 weeks ago? And now they're using him the way he needs to be used as that superstar elite wide receiver, and it pans out, man. I mean, like he demands a lot of attention.
Yeah.
But other than that, he can catch the ball and the stuff that he does after the catch. It's like, I don't know why the Cowboys took this long, but you see what you get. You see the type of results you get, and it's been helping. And now, because of that, a lot of attention goes to him, and that gives like Brandon Cooks, a Ferguson attention now, and to gain opportunities. Ever since that has happened, Brandon Cooks has been catching more than expected. It's been closely to 50 yards every game, which is good.
And a touchdown.
And a touchdowns. And also Ferguson as well. I mean, like, when I picked up Ferguson in my fantasy league, he wasn't doing diddly nothing for me, man. But now, man, he's becoming irrelevant now that I might consider him start every week now. That's what I'm saying. Now I think that the Cowboys are using that attention for CeeDee Lamb, and that right there brings in more help for him with other receivers in the field as well.
Yeah.
Last thing before we leave this game, Shaq Leonard. He's deciding between the Cowboys and the Eagles.
Yeah.
Rumor has it he'll decide today. That could be big.
Oh yeah. They both could use it.
Both teams, you saw yesterday, Eagles definitely need somebody in the middle, and the Cowboys Seattle showed the way that they were that they were bludgeoning them up the middle, that the Cowboys need them too. So we'll see. That's going to be an important part, I think, coming up for the playoffs.
And both of those teams, tight ends gave them issues yesterday.
Yep.
I mean, over the weekend. So, one last thing, please, these referees, these flags.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
250 penalty yards between the two teams, man.
Yeah.
That was just terrible, man. Every time you looked up, there's a flag on the ground.
Yeah.
Man. It was just out of control.
Yeah, man. It's really bad, man. Y'all boys got anything else with the Cowboys and Seahawks?
No, let's go ahead and let's go to Houston. Houston Texans hosted the Denver Broncos. Houston won 22-17. Really good game. C.J. Stroud, 16 of 27, 274 yards and a touchdown. Damian Pierce, 15 carries, 41 yards and a touchdown. Nico Collins, 9 receptions, 191 yards and a touchdown. Russell Wilson, 15 of 26, 186 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Javonte Williams, 13 carries, 46 yards. And Cortland Sutton, 2 receptions, 77 yards and a touch. Overall, Houston outgained them by a lot, 353 yards to 282. And, of course, Denver had those 3 touchdowns.
Turnovers.
Oh, it's 3 turnovers. And then time of possession, 33 minutes, 4 seconds for the Texans and 26 minutes, 56 seconds for the Broncos. Fredo, go ahead and kick it off. What are your thoughts about this game?
This was a tough win right here, man. Unfortunately, we lost Tank Dell. Why was he blocking for this 187-pound man? I don't know why, man. But that right there, that was a big question. You have tight ends twice his size. You have receivers twice his size, man. Tank Dell should not belong there at the 1 yard line trying to basically run block, you know? And that cost him to be out for the season, unfortunately, man. But other than that, man, I feel like this right here was very impressive on the defensive side of the ball. If I had to say who won this game, it was the defense, man. The defense showed out for this game. Offense did what they had to do. And yeah, man, that was a well-balanced team, but the defense just hold up. 3 picks, 3 interceptions, 2 from Stingley and 1 from Ward. Was it Ward? Yeah, Ward. Yeah, Ward. And at the end right there, man, so that's the reason why the Texans got that W, man. But overall, man, that was a great game. I was at the tailgate. I watched the game while I was tailgating, man. It was awesome. The atmosphere was there. A lot of Broncos fans at the game, but Texans took care of business, man. I loved it. D'Amico loved it. C.J. Stroud was out there, passionate, man. You know, I loved everything about this game, man. Just the only thing that bugs me, man, is the whole Tank Dell getting hurt. But overall, man, like, you know, you can see that they want to put Dameon Pierce back in the mix. Me personally, I think they should stick with Singletary. I think Singletary just better in the backfield than Pierce right now at the moment. I think Pierce has a tough time trying to figure out this offense, or maybe this offense is not really for him. But Nico Collins, man, woo, man, thank you, my boy. Thank you for showing up. He had a day, man. 9 receiving for 191 yards. Man, he was only 9 yards away from 200, you know, so that's very impressive. These receivers are going to need to step up now that Tank Dell's out. I'm talking to Nico Collins. I'm talking to Robert Woods. I'm talking to Menchie now. I think now this is the time Menchie needs to really step up and show him why the Texans took him in the second round. I'm sorry, in the third round with injury problems. I think it's time for him to show up next game and show the Texans fans why the Texans picked them up with those injuries. And overall, man, I wish the defense was a little bit more physical. I know they play more of that zone type of defense. I wish they could blitz more, man, but they put a lot of pressure. Will Anderson Jr., man, he showed up for this game as well. He was right there giving Russell Wilson a hell of a day, putting pressure on, man. But I don't know, DC, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
Man, it's a hell of a win. The most important part, they get the tiebreaker now, the Broncos, if it comes down to that. But me looking at these numbers, I'm like, man, Texans, they beat them 30-0.
That's what I was about to say.
0 for 11 on third down.
That's what I was about to say, yeah.
And the turnover, they had 3. Texans had none.
Right.
That's the number. Like, my God, these numbers look like a blowout. But but I see the penalty. They had 8 for 81. And the Broncos only had 2. But just overall, it was looking at the numbers, like, my God, did the Texans blow them out? But these numbers say they did, but the score didn't. But overall, like I say, the big thing is they lost Tank Dell. Now it's time to see how the offense is going to operate without him. Now, what kind of scheme? You know, because Tank Dell did a lot, even without catching the ball. He done a lot for the scheme for them. So now somebody else, I don't know if it's going to be Noah Brown or whatever, but you're going to need somebody else to run that route tree and be efficient with it. So we'll see going forward, Fredo. But like I said, man, it's a good win for the team. It just hurt that they lost Tank Dell like that for the year. Man.
Exactly, man. Like
he was in, man.
He was the second best wide receiver from this rookie group.
That's right.
There was a graph showing that on Quinton Johnson, the receivers picked after him. Quinton Johnson from the Chargers hasn't done nothing this year,
right? And
every receiver behind him has done more than him, which says a lot, you know. So, and Quinton Johnson was a first round pick, right?
That's right.
And the fact that Tank Dell has been the second best wide receiver rookie from that class says a lot. And the Texans did give up a lot to move up to get him, but it panned out until now, really. And the best receiver, rookie receiver this year is Puta Kuka.
Nakua. And he was a fifth rounder.
Yeah, he's a fifth rounder, and so that lets you know, man, you can find receivers late. Right. Just you gotta have them in the right scheme, man. But overall, Jay, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
I'm torn. Like you said, the numbers say this should have been a blowout. Yeah. Russ was thrown in the end zone to win the game at the end. Watched this game pretty thoroughly. On the Broncos side, they left. If they run one more naked bootleg to Will Anderson's side, like Will Anderson had a great day, but the Sean Payton made it so easy for him many times. It was okay, we're gonna bootleg, and no, Will Anderson, you can go free. And then Russ would scramble to his side. Yeah. And Will Anderson he's a real good player, man, because it's like he knew exactly. He set the edge, and then Russ will run to him, and that's an easy. Yeah. I'll take this easy hit. Yeah. So they got to do something about that. Russ is, man. You can't let Russ cook, because that's what happened when Russ cooks. Stingley had his best game that I've seen. He's starting to look like that first round top 5 draft pick that they drafted him as. And then on the Texans side, this shouldn't have been close. They're very sloppy to me. It was a sloppy game. Stroud had a couple times where they got lucky. There was the fumble where 3 Broncos were right there, and somehow, some way, Texans came out of the pile with it, which is really good for them. But like you said, I haven't seen 0 for 11 on third downs, and it's still a close game. Yeah. The Texans were 4 and 16 on third down, so that's where they need to start improving there. But man, it's a big win. I think this helps them get into. I think they end up getting in the playoffs. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, and also Russell Wilson, those 5 games that they have won, he didn't throw no interceptions whatsoever. Yeah. So. In this game right here, he threw 3, man, and he had multiple times to actually come back and win this game for them, man.
Yeah, he was thrown into the end zone to win it, and I don't know. Could he have gone somewhere else with that? I don't like the decision to throw it in the end zone. Just a jump ball to a backup tight end was a bad decision to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Gentlemen, y'all have anything else with the Texans and Broncos?
Nope.
No, good win.
All right, let's go to the next game. We have the Colts at the Titans. Final score 31-28. The Colts take care of business on the road right here. When I depended the one time for the Titans to win this game, man, God damn, they let me down. Let's go to some game leaders real quick. Let's start off with the Colts side of the ball. Minshew, he threw for 42, completed 26, 312 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Not bad, man. The top rusher from the Colts was Moss with 19 carries and 51 yards. Top receiver was Pittman Jr., 11 catches, 105 yards, and 1 touchdown. Have a day, my boy. Now to the tight side of the ball, top passer, Levis. He threw for 33, completed 16, 224 yards, and 1 touchdown. Top rusher was Henry. 21 carries, 102 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Have a day, my boy. Top receiver from the Titans, D-Hop. 5 catches, 75 yards, and 1 touchdown. Team stats real quick. Total yardage for the Colts, 355, while the Titans had 381. Turnovers. Both teams had 2 turnovers each. Time possession, 29 minutes for the Colts and 38 minutes for the Titans. And this game did win to overtime. And that being said, this divisional game right here, this puts Tennessee 4-8, last in their division, and this puts the Colts at 7-5, holding down that second spot in their division. DC, man, tell us about your Tennessee Titans, man.
Same story. Undisciplined. These pre-snap penalties It's unbelievable, man. And the holding calls, unbelievable, man. Offensive line is just a travesty. Yeah. Definitely gonna have to make some big changes this offseason when it comes to that. Once again, of course, as you've seen, secondary still doing the same thing. Shoot over 300. So that's a bad. The Titans, they really had a good chance to win this game.
Yeah, they did.
They had consecutive punts blocked.
Yes.
He blocked one. Next time we punt, he blocked that one and they broke the punter's leg. Well, the punter's done. Okay. So the Titans go to touchdown to tie it up. But to go ahead, it was 25-25. Well, extra point is missed because the punter's the holder.
Right. Yeah.
He's not in the game. So they bring Ryan Tannehill in there to hold the snap, and he missed the extra point. Would have put the Titans up 26-25, and the rest is history. And, of course, Derrick Henry went out with concussion. He was having a pretty decent day.
Yeah, he was.
Then Jeffrey Simmons went out with a knee issue. That hurt. So offensive line gave up 6 sacks. Another problem, you know. So we just playing for these draft spots now.
Yeah.
4 wins. Maybe we end up in the top 5 because just looking at the schedule, they probably won't win another one. I know we got the Texans twice. I forgot who else, but I think Jacksonville in there somewhere maybe. But so now it's all about it's on to the draft.
Y'all got the 8th spot as of right now.
Okay, yeah. Hopefully we get it into the 5th spot before the season's over because I don't know if they're gonna win any more of these games. But as far as Levis, he's still doing some good things, still making some mistakes. But like I say, this is all about reps for him for the rest of the year. Just getting him up to game speed and letting him see different type of matchups and schemes and stuff going forward. So no big deal for me. I wasn't expecting much right now anyway. So I'm ready to get this rebuild on the road because we got a lot of moves we got to make before the beginning of next year.
So your next opponents, man, you have Miami, Houston, Seattle, Houston again, and Jacksonville.
See now, that's over right there.
Yeah,
they're gonna be 4 wins more than likely.
Top 5 looking pretty good.
So like I say, I'm hoping for a tackle, one of the tackles out of this draft, man.
All right. Hey, Jerron, you have any thoughts on this game, bro?
Tale of 2 coaches. Shane Steichen needs to be getting at least one Coach of the Year. Give him. Somebody needs to shout him out because what he's doing with that team is not supposed to happen. The way he's coaching up Gardner, lost his rookie quarterback, but I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing for him. But and then on the other side, now I'm starting to get worried about Vrabel. Is just the way that they're losing is starting to look like it could be blamed on the head coach not having his team ready, not having his special teams, like those back-to-back punts. That's what got me like,
ain't no way that's supposed to happen.
That's what got me thinking Vrabel might be in trouble a little bit. And he's one of my favorite coaches. He's on that. He's one of them Tomlin type coaches that is like, what does he do? I don't know, but he gets his team ready. Yeah. He's like Dan Campbell to me. It's just the way the front office has him backed into a corner with the roster. But yeah, that's to me. Keep an eye out on Vrabel. See how they bounce back. They got a tough schedule that is gonna most likely get them a high draft pick, but that one's tough.
So if you guys had to put something, let's put a number on it. What is his chances to get fired? If DC, I'm gonna shoot this question to you first. What are Vrabel's chances to get fired this season?
Probably I'll put it at about 30-35%.
Okay, so that's not much,
but that's too high.
That's too high.
I mean,
but we still got like I say, depending on what these losses look like.
Yeah.
Yes,
So all right, so let's say they lose these last 4 games.
They got to be competitive, Fredo. You're gonna have to be competitive.
A competitive loss.
Yes.
All right, so he says about 35. Jay, what do you say?
I'm up to 25%. But the blame that I put on him would probably be like 20%. Most of the blame to me comes from the management of the roster.
Yeah.
So I can't really. I still love him as a coach. It's just their last couple games have been I've been seeing some cracks in the armor to where it's like, all right, somebody can wiggle in and say, you know what, we might need to move on from Vrabel.
Yeah, I feel like Vrabel's gonna be one of those coaches that does get fired, but he's gonna be hired by another team.
Yeah,
within that same.
The rumor is there might be 11 coaches let go.
Yeah. We're paying musical coaches, but like I told you last week, Fredo, with Vrabel, I think it's gonna come down. They're gonna tell him, you have to get rid of these coordinators. Yeah. We don't. It's either you, or you got to get rid of your buddies as far as these coordinators go. Yeah, and that's what I think it's gonna come down to. And at that point, he's gonna make a decision. Well, I'm going. I'm staying. Yeah, but there's gonna be a lot of coaching changes. Yeah, it's gonna be a whole new staff, one way or the other. Yeah, things like that's what I'm thinking. Either he's gonna have a new staff or he's gonna get fired, and it's gonna be a new staff in that way. Yeah, but they're gonna put the pressure on him to bring in some different guys. Gotcha. No doubt, because you got a new GM in there now. He had no loyalty to any of those guys, so they're gonna come down and say, "Man, you can stay, but your homeboy Tim Kelly, them guys got to go." Yeah,
gotcha. Yeah, it makes sense, man. Gentlemen, you have anything else between the Colts and Titans?
No. Let's go to New England. This game set offensive football back to the 1920s. The Chargers go into New England. They win 6-0. That's right, 6-0. Justin Herbert, 22 of 37, 212 yards. Austin Eckler, 14 carries, 18 yards. That's terrible. Yeah. Keenan Allen, 5 receptions, 58 yards, leading receiver. Bailey Zappi, 13 of 25, 141 yards. Ezekiel Elliott came in for Ramondre Stevenson, who got hurt. He got 17 carries for 52 yards. And Devontae Parker, 4 receptions, 64 yards. Surprisingly, they got over 200 total yards each. 257 for New England, 241 for the Chargers. 1 turnover for the Patriots, and I mean that's pretty much it. I don't know what I can give you for this game.
So it was just 2 field goals.
That's it, man.
That was the highlight of this game.
The weather was bad. You know, when you go to Gillette, whatever the stadium called, when the wind starts to blow this time of year, you really can't do much of nothing. But my God, thank God for the Chargers defense with the 5 sacks. Yeah, they would have lost this game, man. Yeah. They had Zappi running for his life back there, but like you say, man, ain't nothing here. Staley's still on his way out. I like to think to believe that, man. Yeah.
That's got to happen.
Yeah. So we'll just wait to see who get that job.
Yeah, same here, man.
Maybe Belichick's gone too.
Yeah. Ain't really much to talk about this game, man. Like, it's just a trash game, really.
Justin Herbert blanked. No sacks or anything, and they still only put up 6. And the most interesting part is, as Staley goes, Kellen Moore goes. I mean, he wanted that job more than the Cowboy job, so we shall see.
Back on the streets.
Yep. Maybe go to college.
Y'all boys got anything else between the Patriots and Chargers?
Nah.
Yeah, man. All right, let's talk about another. Let's talk about another game that's competitive. We have the Lions at the Saints. Final score 33-28. Lions take care of business on the road. Let's talk about it, man. Game leaders for the Lions pass. Goff, he threw for 25, completed 16, 213 yards and 2 touchdowns. Have a day, man. Top rusher from the Lions was Gibbs with 8 carries for 60 yards. Top receiver from the Lions was Laporte with 9 catches, 140 yards and 1 touchdown. Have a day, my boy. Now to the same side of the ball, passing. Carr, he threw for 22, completed 17, 226 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Top receiver was Hill with 13 carries, 59 yards, and 1 touchdown. I'm sorry, top rusher. That's your top rusher was Hill. And then your top receiver was Olave with 5 catches, 119 yards. Not bad, man. So now let's go to some team stats. Total yardage overall, the Lions had 347, while the Saints had 362. Turnovers, 0 for the Lions and 2 for the Saints. Time possession, 28 minutes for the Lions and 32 minutes for the Saints. That being said, that puts the Saints at 5-7, third in their division, and this puts the Lions 93, holding down the number 1 spot in their division right there. DC, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
Man, the Lions are starting to worry me, man.
Yeah.
They really are. If Carr don't get hurt, they probably lose this game. They're up 21-0 within the first 7 minutes of this game.
Yeah.
And you let them crawl back into it with one receiver, Olave.
Yep.
There's no Michael Thomas. There's no Rashid Shaheed. Nothing. There's no Lattimore.
Yeah.
There's no Cam, the defensive man. I don't think
Jordan.
he even played. Cam Jordan didn't even play. And you let them get back into this game. Like I say, don't be surprised if the DC is gone before long. I'm telling you right now. Because in the lackluster of golf, the way he's been playing the last few weeks, Detroit is really starting to worry me, man. And in the ascend of the Packers right now, all of a sudden now you may have some problems before the season's over with. And if they lose that number 1 spot in that division, it's going to be some real problems at the end of the year. So, they got the victory, which is good, but they're starting to worry me, man. The Lions the defense is really starting to worry me. Of course, the offense, too. It's just that Goff didn't turn it over like he had been the last few weeks.
Absolutely.
So,
DC, on to your point, they only scored 21 points in the first quarter. After that was number of field goals.
That's it.
Jay, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
Yeah, I'm with DC. I'm starting to get a little shaky on the Lions. Low key, we've been talking about Philly a long time, but the Lions have been they've been fortunate too this year. Even starting out week 1, they should have had another loss. They've had to come back from crazy deficits against the Bears. So not really much to talk about with the Saints. They gave it their all. It's tough to play in the dome. Is the only thing I can really say for the Lions. Maybe that dome came alive, but for the Saints, more Taysom, especially in the red zone. Let's get Taysom going. But yeah, the story is Detroit. Like, who are the real Lions? And what are we gonna see when it push come to shove? The playoffs, it's a different ball game. They can't give up leads like this, and their defense can't allow a passing game just to carve them up this easily.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, y'all have any more between the Lions and Saints? All right, Jay, you want to take this one?
It's Atlanta, New York, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah. Atlanta Falcons pull off the victory in New Jersey against the Jets, 13-8. That is a weird score. Atlanta is 6-6 now, number 1 in their division, right?
Atlanta, yep.
Ooh, 6-6. Desmond Ridder, 12 of 27, 121 yards. Bijan Robinson, 18 carries, 53 yards, and Kyle Pitts is the leading receiver for 4 receptions, 51 yards. Tom Boyle, something like that. 14 of 25, 148 yards. Man, that's bad. 1 interception.
Dalvin you could Cook, throw more than that.
Man, like both of them got under 150 yards passing. And then Gibson, 5 receptions for 77 yards, is the leading receiver for the Jets. It's crazy because Tim Boyle is probably way worse than Zach Wilson, and they have no hope in New York. Atlanta won this game, and they didn't even break 200 total yards. So that's how that is. New York just had 3 turnovers. Time possession was pretty much even.
Yeah.
DC, you got it.
This is the worst game. This is almost better than New England game.
Man, this right here, I had left on Jerron out of war.
I mean,
it's like, man, we're wasting our time talking about this.
I can't see
unbelievable.
I can't see a future with any one of these teams,
gentlemen. But one of these teams are divisional leaders.
Yeah,
that's the sad part about
Arthur Smith gonna make the playoffs and still get fired. That's what the Titans did to the coach before Vrabel. He made the playoffs and they still fired him.
Yeah,
this is unacceptable. You have too much talent, to be putting up these type of numbers, man. You know, ain't no way, man. I'm done with the Falcons, man. They're gonna go to the playoffs and get hammered.
Whoever's
it's
the
gonna be another bye.
Whoever's the 5th seed is that's the most. They might be sitting as starters in the late 3rd quarter. Because there's no way that
embarrassing, man.
there's no way that this should be allowed.
Nope. Nobody in that division wants it, evidently. All right. What's the next game, Freddie?
Next game? All right. DC called it already. All right, let's move on to the next game. We have the Cardinals at the Steelers right here. DC, don't worry, man. This game was a little bit more entertaining, but it was delayed for like an hour or so, I believe.
Yeah.
Final score: Cardinals 24, Pittsburgh 10. Let's get into some game leaders. Let's start off with the Cardinals side of the ball. Murray passing. He threw for 23, completed 13, 145 yards and 1 touchdown. Your top rusher was Connor. 25 carries, 105 yards and 2 touchdowns. Have a day, my boy. Top receiver from the Cardinals was McBride with 8 catches, 89 yards, and 1 touchdown. Now to the Steelers side of the ball, Trubisky started this game. Well, no, he didn't start it.
He came in.
Yeah, he came in. He got hurt, and he had to fill in that backup role. He threw for 11, completed 17, 117 yards, and 1 touchdown. Not bad. And your top rusher was Harris with 16 carries for 63 yards. Top receiver was Pickens with 4 catches, 86 yards. Team stats real quick. Cardinals, total yardage 282, while the Steelers had 317 turnovers, 0 for the Cardinals and 1 for the Steelers. Time possession, right down the middle, 29 minutes for the Cardinals and 30 minutes for the Steelers. That being said, this puts the Steelers at 7-5, still with the second place in their division, and this puts 3-10 for the Cardinals, last in their division. DC, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
My goodness, Pittsburgh, I think they might be in trouble now. I think they might be, even though he got hurt, the Kenny Pickett thing, I think it's over. And Trubisky, knowing he's showing gonna get you nowhere. If he can get in the playoffs with Trubisky still pulling the strings for the team, that's just be another amazing job. But I can't see it now. I really don't see it. You lost to this guy. Murray only threw for 145 yards, 89 to the tight end. And you lose to that? Come on, man. You can't lose to one of the worst teams like that at home.
At home.
You know?
And at home,
you know how many delays you have, man.
I mean, even though at home their record is 4-3.
Yeah, you can't do that. And George Pickens, he started out hot, but once the quarterback got hurt, that all ended. Because he came out the gate, the first possession, he almost had all those yards then.
Yeah.
But I think Pittsburgh, which is going to be a good thing for the Texans. Because I think they just about played their way out of it. You know, and just open up the door for the Texans, man. And it's sad, but it's true. They're gonna have to get a new quarterback too, I think, coming into the next year.
Yeah. Must need it for sure. Jay, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
Yeah, this the Steelers, they definitely need to start calling around, make a trade for a competent quarterback. Kenny Pickett's not the guy. Damn sure know that Trubisky's not the guy. But it's tough. I mean, it's a weather game. Weather delay played a part in it. Just happy to see that James Conner came back, scored against them, and that's a pretty good look for them. Cardinals, they're third in the draft. Good place to pick Marvin Harrison Jr. That's they, no matter what, that should be their number one concern. But other than that, we'll see how the Steelers shake out with this playoff situation. I'm with DC. I think they kind of messed themselves up right now.
For sure. Gentlemen, you have anything else more with the Cardinals and Steelers?
Yeah, and the only thing that might help the Steelers is that looks like Cleveland may be gonna spiral out of control.
Yeah,
and
also,
there's no Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
so but it's still gonna be tough.
Yeah,
it's still gonna be real tough for them to come through.
Absolutely.
All right, nothing. Let's go to nice little blowout here. Washington hosted the Miami Dolphins. And they only scored 15 points. They allowed Miami to get 45 on them boys. Tua had a day of 18 of 24, 280 yards, 2 touchdowns. Devon A. Chain, 17 carries, 73 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's a touchdown scoring machine whenever he plays. Tyreek Hill, the best receiver in the league right now, 5 receptions, 157 yards, 2 touchdowns. Sam Howell for the Commanders, 12 of 23, 127 yards and interception. Brian Robinson Jr., 7 carries, 53 yards. And Curtis Samuel, for some reason, keeps leading.
The way.
With all, that's what,
in the way.
With all that talent, he's the leading receiver. Whatever. Miami put up 406 total yards, no turnovers, 20 first downs, and Washington only came up with 245, 1 turnover, and 11 first downs. What they say? Left hand up. We're the commander. That's stupid. DC.
That's a catchy song,
man. You knew they were cursed once they made that dumb song for them. But DC, what do you think?
They should have fired the head coach after this and let Eric Bieniemy run the whole team.
Yeah.
How in the hell you gonna single cover Tyreek Hill, and he got you on 2 big touchdowns? You have got to be out of your mind. He must be trying to get fired. But either way, the best receiver for the Washington Commanders, not even a catch, McLaurin. He just gave this man all this money in the offseason, and how did he have a stat line with 3 targets and you getting blowed out and no catches? That's a major problem in Washington.
That's a fireable offense.
Yes. Yeah, that's a major problem in Washington. So I know they can't wait for the season to hurry up and be over, but Miami did what they supposed to do. Went out there and Tyreek still being Tyreek, man. That 2,000 yards is here. Yeah. I think you're going to see that, man. I mean, right off the top, he's just running down the field.
As of right now, he has 114.81 yards right now.
1,481. Yeah,
1,481.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only 4 more games left.
He's on pace for 2,098. First player ever to crack 2,000, and he made that look so easy. Sunday is, like you said, single coverage. What do you know damn well that none of your corners can touch him to sniff his jock, and y'all letting him single coverage only on 5 receptions. It's crazy. Is he the greatest deep threat ever? Like, let's say.
I feel like he gets most of his yards after the catch, though.
Okay, look. What would be some of your top deep threats? Number 1 for me is Randy Moss.
Yeah, absolutely, Randy Moss.
Give me a Tyreek.
Yeah. Them 2 right there, man. Like say the deep ball, it's gonna be.
It's just different with those 2 catches. Those are the only 2 I can see. Maybe Deshaun Jackson, but to a lesser extent. But as a deep threat, I'm sure I'm forgetting.
These are deep threats that actually catch. You always had a guy like Ted Ginn. He could get wide open.
Yes.
But he just might drop it.
Mike Wallace, too.
Yeah, same thing. They get open, but they'll drop it. But as far as deep threat and can catch the ball, it's going to be tough to beat him.
He's only had 4 games under 100 yards.
How is that possible? And coming in.
That's ridiculous.
Nobody can game plan that.
Only 4 games under, and I'm going to tell you what teams was under 4 yards. It was the Patriots with 40 yards. It was with the Buffalo with 58 yards. It was with Philly with 88 yards. And it was with Kansas City, the most recent one, with 62 yards.
And all those were losses. What about except for the Patriots?
Lost for Kansas City. Lost with the Eagles. And lost
against
Buffalo. And lost.
They beat the Patriots.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So
Belichick slowed him down.
Yeah. I guess Belichick is the only one with the secret information.
Yes, do whatever he did. It's ridiculous what he's doing. He should be in the MVP vote. This is crazy. He's got Offensive Player of the Year locked up.
Oh yeah,
that was easy. He's just going crazy right now.
Yeah, it's tough because he's a receiver, but the guy he probably is MVP for me now, man.
Yeah,
because if you pick 5 receivers, and we all did our top 5 receivers, he's gonna be in all of ours.
Yeah.
He's gonna be in everybody's top 5 receiver.
Yeah.
But then when you start talking like some people saying Tua, if you told us to pick our best 5 quarterbacks, Tua probably ain't gonna be in none of our top 5 quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? But
no,
he is legit, man. And it's very tough for receivers to get get the MVP. But man, what he's gonna do is he's gonna shatter the record, man, and he should get it.
He should, yeah.
He should definitely get it.
Especially if he gets those
get that record, man.
2,000 plus yardage, he should.
Who was the last position player to win? Was it Adrian Peterson?
That was a long time ago too.
Besides a non-quarterback,
non-quarterback.
It was AP.
It shouldn't be a quarterback award. Right. It's ridiculous to me that they just made it they just give a quarterback their own award.
The Cooper Cup get it?
I don't think he got it. But the one I remember is Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
And that's when he went 2,000 plus yards.
He made him give it to him by doing that. You know?
The way he was dominating physically back then, man, I used to love watching Adrian Peterson run. He was a beast.
So I'm gonna give y'all the MVPs for the past some odd years till we reach a non-quarterback.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes.
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers again. Lamar Jackson. Mahomes. Brady. Matt Ryan.
Goodness gracious.
Cam Newton. Aaron Rodgers. Peyton Manning. And Andrew Peterson in 2012.
Oh, boy.
Besides that, I'm going to keep going. Aaron Rodgers. Tom Brady. Peyton Manning. Tom Brady. And Ladarius Thomas in 2006.
Oh, you remember how many touchdowns he had? He had to get 40-something touchdowns
he was crazy.
To be considered an MVP.
Since 2006 all the way to now, there's only been 2 outside positions besides a quarterback that's won it, and both of them just happen to be running backs.
They got to fix that.
They
do something with that.
And they need to give this man a legitimate shot. Because if we're honest, there's no quarterback really deserving.
Right.
Jalen Hurts, you can always give his team all the props. Brock Purdy, he's playing out of his mind right now. But again,
they got him at 1 now in the rankings. They got Dak and Hurts tied at 2nd.
Yeah.
And they got Purdy at the best to win them.
Even with Dak, he's playing out of his mind, but nobody's on the level of Tyreek Hill right now. He's setting records. Unless you are gonna set a record as a quarterback this year, I don't want you to be number 1 over Tyreek Hill.
Gentlemen, y'all have anything else with the Commanders and Dolphins?
One last thing.
Go ahead, man.
One that stands out. They beat a cupcake. They beat the Washington Commanders.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we got to keep an eye on that too. They're going to have some games coming up. They won't have one this week with the Titans, but I think they get the Cowboys here real soon.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll find out a lot more about them then.
Who they really are.
Yeah.
We'll see.
If they can finally beat a team. Because
a winning team. Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Next game right here, gentlemen. We have the Panthers at the Buccaneers. Divisional game. Final score 18-21. Buccaneers take care of business at home. Let's start off with the Panthers side of the ball with some game leaders. Young, he threw for 31, completed 15, 178 yards, 1 interception. Top rusher was Herbert, 25 carries, 104 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Have a day, my boy. Top receiver was Mingo with 6 catches, 69 yards. Now to the Buccaneers side of the ball. Passing, Mayfield. He threw for 29, completed 14, 202 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Top rusher was White with 20 carries, 84 yards, and 1 touchdown. Not bad, man. And top receiver was Mike Evans. 7 catches, 162 yards, and 1 touchdown. Have a day, my boy, man. Team stats real quick. Total yardage for the Carolina Panthers, 282, while the Buccaneers had 322. Both teams 1 turnover each. Time possession, 33 for the Panthers and 26 minutes for the Buccaneers. That being said, on this divisional game, this puts now the Panthers at 1-11, last in their division, and this puts the Buccaneers 5-7, second in their division. DC, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
Man, Tampa Bay did all they could to get this game to Carolina. It's terrible. Of course, Mike Evans, man, 10 years straight, 1,000 yards. I think he's trying to get that gold jacket, man. He looked like he's on his way.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody counting him out. You just do fantasy drafts, you can tell that nobody had any trust in him coming into this season the way he fell in different drafts and stuff. But now
I know
he's back.
I didn't.
No, I didn't either. And he's showing people that he's still here and ready to go. And he may make somebody a hell of a receiver for next year. But Bucks, Panthers, not much to see there, man. But other than they tried to give it to the Panthers.
Yeah. Jay, what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, the story of the game is Mike Evans. Only can you guess the other player who had 10 and 1,000 like that? 10 straight seasons with 1,000 yards.
That's playing right now?
No, ever. This is ever territory.
Rice, I would guess Rice, yeah.
Jerry Rice is the only one. He's maybe the most underrated receiver in the game right now, especially over the last 10 years. There's a case where if you put him head up with Julio Jones, who do you want? Who would you rather have?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Mike Evans.
Do you think that's because he's been playing with the Buccaneers? If he goes to like let's say another team not besides the Cowboys, let's say he goes to like the Chargers, or let's say he goes to like Kansas City, you think that he would be recognized more as an elite receiver?
I think really it's his style of play.
Yeah.
He's not the biggest guy. He's not the fastest guy.
Yeah.
Not the strongest. He doesn't have that wiggle. He's got really good hands, but he didn't have DeAndre Hopkins highlights.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like he's just nobody would go into the park and pick him number one. No. You would go up and you see, Julio, taking him. I'm taking Andre. Well, of course you take Andre Johnson, but you take a DeAndre Hopkins. Of course Tyreek. It's just this dude does it so quietly, and he's actually been a model citizen.
Right.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
I haven't heard anything bad about this.
Yeah. You don't hear anything off field about him really. But yeah, Mike Evans just been steady. And upcoming free agent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So he can do a lot. And I hope he goes to somewhere where he can get some shine.
Yep.
But man, I feel bad for Bryce. This situation is toxic because all you're seeing is what they gave up for him. People are like, hey, if you really play it out, you paid all these first round picks. You lose the chance of getting Drake May or Caleb Williams. You gave up DJ Moore, all for the production that you're getting now, and it's started. He's lucky he's in Carolina, because if he was in a larger market, it'd be real ugly right now. It'd be real ugly. But I just feel for the whole situation. I hope Bryce can have a good future in this league.
So, all right. As of right now, gentlemen, do y'all see any highlights from Bryce Young? I mean, his top game right now, I'm looking at his stats. His top game was against the Lions. Do y'all know how many yards he threw for that game?
He probably maybe 200?
250?
You're close, 247. And he threw for 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. I mean, that's his most best game. And that's still with the bad stat.
Yeah.
You know? It's like that right there makes you think a lot. And also, you know, and by any chance, do you know what's his worst game?
Against the Cowboys?
Yeah. 123 yards with 1 touchdown, but it comes with one interception.
Yeah.
Right now, he's tied for his touchdown interception ratio. Right now, he's 9-9.
Oh my goodness!
And right now, like, there's stats being put up with the way his career started. It's very bad. Like it's bottom of the barrel quarterbacks.
Yeah.
The way that his season started. The only thing I can think that's gonna save it is get you a Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay system where just like I said before, turn him into Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
He's accurate enough. He's able to move well enough. Turn him into a Brock Purdy. Don't have him sitting back like he's Drew Brees. He's not going to be that. He's not going to be able to make those throws. Give him lots of weapons and give him the ability to find wide open receivers.
Yeah.
And he can deliver, but I need a West Coast system for this man.
And one more thing, gentlemen, is his QBR rating. His highest one was a 103, and that was against the Texans, the only one he had, and they barely won that game. By any chance, do y'all know what's his lowest?
38?
48. Yep.
Fredo, this is an organizational deal. This owner, Snyder's gone. Now this guy is the worst owner in the league.
So he's the new Shiner.
Yes. And like Jerome was saying, they're going to need a new... Who wants to go coach here? That's going to be very telling when this season is over and who they hire for their head coach. It's going to be very telling about who wants to go and work for this guy.
Yeah.
Because it's his fault that he's got Bryce Young.
Yeah.
They went out there and signed Miles Sanders. Gave him a lot of guaranteed money.
Yeah.
He ain't going to hit 500 yards this year. Are you kidding me?
Well, your main running back was your backup last year.
And I think that was a Deuce Staley signing, coming from Philadelphia. But he might not even hit 500 yards before the season's over with. And you done gave that man all that kind of money. So if they can figure out a way to buy him out, he may be gone too. You giving the ball to Chuba Hubbard 25 times, and you gave this man all this money to come and play.
Yep.
So organizationally, they got problems. And Bryce Young, if I'm him, I might demand a trade. Because I don't see it getting much better until we find out who the head coach is going to be. Like I say, it's going to be very telling.
Yeah.
If a guy like Ben Johnson or Ronick, they turn this job down. It's going to be very telling when the season starts who the head coach is.
So the names that he's associated with the start of his career, Jimmy Clausen. He's putting up Jimmy Clausen type numbers. Josh Rosen. And remember Jeff Fisher, Jared Goff. Remember when Jeff Fisher was there, Jared Goff was terrible. Now Bryce is putting up those kind of numbers right now. So it's not starting off the best for him. And I just hope that he can get fixed. He's around Blake Bortles kind of territory too. So it's just I have no idea.
Get out of there, man.
Yeah,
I think it's the ownership, man. That dude gonna keep messing around in the business. Get out of there, man.
His agent better work something out, bro.
He's what everybody thinks Jerry Jones is. He is meddlesome as hell. He's impatient.
Yeah.
He already paying $70 million to coaches.
Coaches that didn't work.
Like 6 coaches in the last 3 years, something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Steve Wilkes, Matt Rule.
And it's not going to get better anytime soon. You ain't got no first round pick.
No.
So, but yeah,
they're screwed.
You won't see the real Bryce Young until 2 years from now.
By then,
if he's still alive.
Yeah,
right.
They're getting beat up over there.
By then, man, Bryce Young's gonna find his little way to get out of there because he needs to talk to Deshaun Watson and see how he did it.
Oh, you know how he got it. You know how Deshaun did it.
Oh man.
Man, that's sad, but we're gonna move on. Go to L.A. The L.A. Rams hosted the Cleveland Browns. L.A. came out on top, 36-19. Matt Stafford, 22 of 37, 279 yards, 3 touchdowns. Kyron Williams, who's been a beast, 21 carries, 88 yards, and a touchdown. Puka Nacua, 4 receptions, 105 yards, and a touchdown. For the Browns, Joe Flacco, 23 of 44, 254 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Kareem Hunt, 12 carries, 48 yards, and Elijah Moore, 4 receptions, 86 yards. LA scored 300 and they totaled 399 yards, no turnovers, 20 first downs, and Cleveland 327 yards, 1 turnover. And LA came out with the victory. Looking like they're making a run.
Yeah.
DC, what you got?
Move over to Seattle. LA is in that spot now. One team's coming up, the other one's going down. And for them to do this to a Browns defense, I don't know if did Myles Garrett not play? I didn't get to watch much.
No, he did play.
He did? Okay,
he did play.
no.
He did play.
And for Matt Stafford to rewind the clock on them like that. 3 touchdowns. Yeah, good game.
Yeah.
For the Browns, like, yep, another team. The Browns going down to, looks like, even with the Flacco, he put up some decent numbers, but it wasn't enough to beat the Rams. And so they look like they going in the wrong direction also, which I'm sure Texans fans, they love that.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you want.
Exactly.
That's
yeah.
a win for y'all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good win for the Rams. They finally get that last spot, see what they can do with it.
Yeah. So I guess the Rams have the tiebreaker over the Seattle right now. That's why the Rams are in second in that division with 6-6. And watch out, man. Like the Rams might go in there and get that 7th spot for the wild card. If they keep winning the way they're winning right now, man, I can see them potentially them getting that that wild card. Right now, I'm gonna check out what's their remaining schedule. Check that about. Hold on, I'm trying to look for them.
Oh, the Ravens.
Our Rams. All right, they have the Ravens. I don't know, man. The way they've been playing, man, it's doable, you know. And then they got the Commanders. That's a win. New Orleans. That's a toss up, but most likely a win. Indy. That might be a loss right there, but they play against Denver. That's going to be a toss up game as well. So who knows, man? Out of these next 5 games, they need to win at least 4.
Well, they got the Ravens, Commanders, Saints, Giants, and Niners.
Yeah.
For the Rams?
Yeah, that's the next. Yeah.
Right. That's gonna be tough.
With the Niners and the Ravens.
Yeah.
You can get the Commanders, Saints, and the Giants.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough. So out of this right here, man, they need to win at least 4, just to have a secure spot. But if they win 3, they're gonna need a lot of miracles to happen as well. Jay, you got anything on this game, man?
Nothing really. Shout out to Puka.
Yeah.
Needs 444 yards receiving to break the all-time rookie receiving record. He's got 5 weeks to do it.
Ain't nobody talking about it.
Nobody's talking about it. Dude is balling. He legitimately overtook Cooper Kupp as the number 1 receiver in LA, and he's playing lights out. Shout out to him.
Oh, right now he has like 9 something, right?
No, he's over 1,000 yards.
Oh, sheesh.
Yeah, he just needs 444 to beat it.
Yeah.
Dude came from BYU.
Never heard of that dude.
Yeah, no.
Fifth round.
I was supposed to go back and watch him.
Was he the number 1 receiver in BYU?
Oh, I can't tell it.
That's crazy. That's crazy. If he's the second string wide receiver in the 5th round, now he's the top receiver as a rookie right now. Incredible, man.
That's crazy.
Incredible. All right. Was got anything else from the Rams and the Browns? That's it. Let's go to an NFC battle right here, man. Let's go to the 49ers and the Eagles right here. Final score 42-19, man. Eagles lose at home right here, man. I want to say this is the first loss at home right here for the Eagles this year. Let's go to some game leaders and start off with the 49ers side of the ball. Passing Purdy. He threw for 27, completed 19, 314 yards and 4 touchdowns. Have a day, man. McCaffrey, top rusher for the San Francisco 49ers. 17 carries, 93 yards and 1 touchdown. Have a day, man. Top receiver was Deebo Samuels from San Francisco. 4 catches, 116 yards and 2 touchdowns. Have a day, my boy. Now let's go to the Eagles side of the ball. Hurts, he threw for 45, completed 26, 298 yards and 1 touchdown. Top rusher as well was Hurts with 7 carries for 20 yards and 1 touchdown. Top receiver was A.J. Brown with 8 catches, 114 yards. Have a day, man. That being said, let's go to some team stats. Overall, total yardage, 456 for the 49ers and 333 for the Eagles. Both teams with 0 turnovers. Time possession, 28 minutes for the 49ers and 32 minutes for the Eagles. That being said, this puts the Eagles now at 10-2, still holding on that number 1 spot in their division. And this puts the 49ers at 93, still holding down that number 1 spot in their division as well. DC. You know what? I'm going to give this one to Jerron first, DC. Jerron, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
This couldn't have worked out any better. Been talking about for weeks. People have been letting the Eagles off lightly. Eagles should have 4 maybe 5 losses. They talked all this trash. Before game, their head coach was being an asshole.
Yeah, he is.
They're just chirping. Before the game, all week, they just said how they were going to do the 49ers. And the 49ers came in and beat them up.
Yep, at home.
And that's really what I wanted. This onslaught of games that, as a Cowboys fan, that the Eagles are going through is going to start showing. Tough one, physical one against the Cowboys. Overtime, physical game against the Bills. KC was a physical game they barely pulled out. And now this game where they just got beat up.
Yeah.
You had the rookie Jalen Carter crying on the sideline. You had a security guy. You had Big Dom or whatever they call him. For some reason, he ended up on the field almost.
Or he was picking up a player to get up and he got ejected.
But him and Dre Greenlaw got into it.
Mm-hmm.
He said something. He touched Dre Greenlaw. Yeah. Dre Greenlaw put his fist in his face. Both got ejected. I thought that was stupid. Ain't no way he should have been a part of the game like that. But look, if you're looking at it from the Eagles' point of view, 5 straight games they trailed going into halftime. They were just luckily, fortunate enough to rally the other 4 times, and now it caught them. It caught them, and right now, 49ers look like a throwback. Those 80s, 90s juggernaut teams, like before everything got a little more evened out. 49ers look like the Jerry Rice 49ers. They look like back when it was just only one team had all the good players.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
That's how they're looking right now.
Man, so get this, man. The 49ers, besides the first quarter, every quarter from second, third, fourth, they scored 2 touchdowns in every quarter. My God. DC, what are your thoughts, man?
3-quarter ass whooping. This was personal. When the Niners came, it was personal. I could tell this was very, very personal.
Yes.
And from the second quarter on, it showed. There was nothing they can do. They killed Philly when Philly can't run the ball. That was it.
Yep.
And they made Hurts throw the ball 45 times. And both was just in the mix the whole time, man. It's just good old-fashioned butt kicking, man. And man, with 49ers, the way them guys, man, everything they did worked.
Right.
Everything they did worked. And once again, that secondary for Philly, they got to figure some stuff out. It's got to be real within like 5 days. Because you got CD, you coming to CD's home, and you see what these guys are doing to you. And CD's better than those guys. He's better than Ayuk and Debo, if you ask me. So now you got to figure this out in 5 days, all while dealing with Michael Parsons and that stuff. So, Philly got to do some regrouping. I know they're glad this is the last game they got. Then they get 4 cupcakes at the end. So they just at least they can hang their hat on that. But hell of a win for the 49ers, man. They trying to make a statement to get to that top spot. Purdy looked really efficient. Really, really efficient, man. Some kind of way he looked at. And I guess, the OC, he put that guy in. I don't think he's that damn talented. Me as a quarterback, I don't.
Yeah.
I think that he's talented enough to do what the OC wants him to do.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Shanahan's put him in a position to succeed, man.
Yeah.
He's surrounded by weapons everywhere on all levels, man. The player's never dead because you got McCaffrey there, you got Kittle here, and
Debo.
Debo and Ayuk, man. The Eagles made, what's his name, Jennings? Looked like a capable receiver yesterday.
Jennings.
Yeah, who? I've heard of him, but Mike, just from fantasy purposes. But as far as him getting out there producing like that, the Eagles secondary got lots of work to do, man. They got a lot of work to do. In the linebacker spot, middle linebacker spot, they got work to do.
Kyle Shanahan was in his bag. He's the best play caller I've seen in a while. The way he sets up plays in the second or third quarter in the first, the way he used the orbit motion, that one touchdown he had to Ayuk, orbit motion, fake toss, naked boot back to. I was like, this dude is going crazy. He had Hassan Reddick had no idea. He ran up the field, and the ball is 10 yards behind him. He's still slipping. It's man, this dude right here. And you team him up with Christian McCaffrey, who's pretty much unstoppable.
Right.
If he was back in the 90s, he's Marshall Faulk.
Yeah.
Like, he's a incredible all around talent. And man, that team is incredible.
It's
like
nice, stacked.
So tell me if I'm wrong in that. The Niners have the scariest team in the league. Of like, they're stacked with terrifying players.
Yeah, everywhere.
Like, let's say, you ever seen the show Oz?
Yeah.
Like, so if there's a team full of this, if it's a prison fight, I don't want to see Trent Williams. I don't want to see Debo. I don't want to see Dre Greenlaw.
Nope.
I want to see Hargrave, Bosa. You know, Bosa, he'll be with the Aryan Nation.
Fred Warner.
I want to see Fred Warner. Travaris Ward even. He's like kind of crazy, scary too. And now they got Chase Young. Yeah. Come on, man. This is the all prison fight team. Yeah. And they came dressed in black.
Yeah.
They came. Debo had black Air Force Ones. If you know anything about black Air Force Ones, you know that's a
hood knowledge.
That's a statement.
Yeah.
When you see those, but man, if they need this needs to be a Super Bowl year for them.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. Because this team that they have right now is a bunch of monsters.
Yep, absolutely. Gentlemen, y'all have anything else between the Eagles and the 49ers?
Yeah, I'm glad they beat them up. Yeah. We'll see how they.
In the group text, man, you were happy.
Oh yeah,
happy.
That went perfect for me. Yeah. DeAndre Swift getting up, kind of. He got blown up. I'm glad that Hurts didn't get a full concussion, but hit him like somebody hit him. He doing all this extra stuff, and when they can't push, we'll see what they got. So. That went perfect for me.
Cool. Jay, take on the next game, man.
Yeah, give me a second. I was too excited.
Yeah, man. No, we can hear your voice, man.
Man, a surprising game for a Sunday night. Green Bay beats the Kansas City Chiefs 27-19. KC, they're fourth in the conference now. They're 8-4. Green Bay is 6-6 now. Patrick Mahomes, 21 of 23, 210 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Isaiah Pacheco, 18 carries, 110 yards, and 1 touchdown. And Travis Kelce, 4 receptions, 81 yards. Jordan Love did his best Aaron Rodgers imitation. Yeah. 25 of 36, 267 yards, 3 touchdowns.
How a day, man.
Yeah, for real. A.J. Dillon, 18 carries, 73 yards. And Romeo Doubs, 4 receptions, 73 yards. Green Bay, they did their thing. 382 yards, no turnovers, 24 first downs against KC's 337 yards, 1 turnover, 25 first downs. Kraft, what you think about how Green Bay is doing and how KC kind of let this one go?
Yep, Green Bay is on the come up, and I'm worried about the Chiefs on several levels. They cannot score in the fourth quarter. I think they've scored 16 points in the fourth quarter in the last 5 games combined.
Yeah.
They cannot close out, man. And another thing they're going to have to, once again, they're going to have to figure out this receiver issue. It's too late now, but that's becoming to be a problem for them. You can't have a team with Mahomes like that. And then when it comes down to it in the fourth quarter, you can't score points. Yeah. That's going to become an issue as soon as you hit the playoffs. So you done lost that number 1 seed to Baltimore. So you're going to have major issues when you have to play another stout team in the first round and you can't put up numbers in the fourth quarter. Hats off to Green Bay, man. Yeah. They move right along. Yeah, they have a shot for the playoffs. It just depends on what Justin Jefferson looks like with Minnesota when he comes back. If they can get things figured out, they already in a little cluster together. But Watson, another touchdown, another injury. Christian Watson, it's been the story of the whole weekend with injuries, but him especially with the soft tissue injuries. The guy's gonna have to stay healthy, man, for them to have a chance.
Yeah.
But hey, Jordan Love, I'm actually pretty surprised. That's back-to-back game, maybe 3 touchdowns, at least 2 touchdowns in like 3 games straight. He's becoming what people thought he was, evidently. Yeah. So we'll see what it looks like going forward. But the Chiefs got lots of problems they got to figure out. And they ain't just gonna walk in the stadium and people be scared of you no more. Those days are gone.
What's it called? So great win right here for the Packers. I didn't pick them to win. But yeah, absolutely, DC. I agree with you, man. Kansas City are in trouble right now. They need another receiver besides Kelsey. I feel like Kelsey this year is taking a couple steps slower, man. He doesn't have those breakoff steps that he did last year, man. Defense, linebackers especially, are covering this man as much as they can. The defense have that safety help on top of them, so he only had 4 catches for 81 yards, man. That's not the Kelsey that we know. He normally has 120 catches for, 120 yards with 10 catches. And like right now, he wasn't relevant, man. But overall, man, like Pacheco's played very well, but unfortunately, the passing game is just not there right now, man. But the Packers, hey, man, that's a great deal for y'all. But right now, they're in the 3rd place in their division, DC, with 6-6 right now. Minnesota holds the tie-in record for them, but we'll see what happens right there. But Jay, you got anything for this game, man?
Yeah, the Chiefs, they made a mistake. They may have gotten too arrogant, thinking that Mahomes will just fix everything. But they need to start calling around. Jarvis Landry, he's out there. He can do something for you. What they should have did I'll say 4 or 5 weeks ago, call out Antonio Brown. he crazy, but he can be better than what they have right now. Also, I'm looking at some names. Kenny Galladay.
One I hadn't heard his name all year.
Yeah, Rashard Higgins, T.Y. Hilton. They should have did something.
Try something, man.
Try something because it's not looking like it used to. And Mahomes, Kelsey needs some help. Kelsey already said he's close to retiring. So he knows he's slowing down. He's older. He's Gronk's age. So So this is going to be coming to a close pretty soon. And hats off to Green Bay. At home, they played well. They got away with a lot in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, they did.
Again, the refs dropping the ball, but just shout out to them. Jordan Love is he's developed. He looks pretty good. And
the past 3 weeks, he's been pretty consistent.
Yeah, and they took it to the Chiefs. So here they come. I think it's a little too late for them. We can see what their upcoming schedule is, but for the Packers,
no, they're not too late. I'm looking at what I'm looking at right now.
Okay,
they got the Giants. They got Tampa Bay, Carolina, Minnesota, and Chicago. If they can win 4,
they can win all that.
They can win all
5 of them.
Yeah, I mean, but Minnesota might give them a push. But that's the only team I see giving a push. Maybe also Tampa Bay. But we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, they can make a little run.
Yeah.
I don't think they can catch Detroit, but they can get a wild card.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Detroit gonna probably end up losing to the Cowboys, so it's gonna get real tight.
We'll see.
Get real tight.
Yeah, I think Detroit is still the tops of that division, but I would like to see if they get a wild card. Most likely, it's another rematch against Detroit, and you see what they did Thanksgiving Day to them.
All right, gentlemen, y'all have anything else between the Chiefs and the Packers?
No, sir.
All right. So that's it, man. Let's wrap up today's episode. Thank you for tuning in to the Shield Football Podcast. If you lasted this long, appreciate that. Thank you for your love and support for the channel. If you could, please give us a like and a follow and share this video as well and many others. But until then, this is Fredo from Jerron in DC and my boy Steven back there. Thank you for tuning in and see y'all next week. Later.
Peace out.
Later.
It's alive!